So good morning children, back to my biology class. The last class we discussed about the first structure of the plasma membrane, why this is called a selectively semi-permeable membrane and what is its functions and everything we discussed. Cell membrane is or plasma membrane is made up of the lipids and proteins, and it's a very flexible in nature. Okay, that's the reason, and all the unicellular organisms and some of the plants, and they gain the water by the process of then osmosis, and it allows only the certain particles to be passed through it. Okay, and we also discussed the different types of the solutions: hypotonic solution, hypertonic solution, isotonic solution. Whereas coming to the unicellular organism like as an amoeba, how it gains its the food, that let me explain here. So whereas coming to the amoeba is an unicellular organism. It is an unicellular organism. So it remains with only the single cell throughout its life. Whatever it is doing, everything it will be carried by the single cell. Okay, yes. For example, whenever the food particles is coming towards to the amoeba, as the cell membrane is porous in nature, through the cell membrane, what will happen is the food particle it engulf it. Engulfment means it goes into the inner part. That particular process we call it as an endocytosis. We already studied this particular topic in nutrition, how it will be takes place by amoeba. For example, if you see the structure of an amoeba, okay, it's a single cell organism. Whenever this food particle it comes towards, so this membrane, the cell membrane is a porous in nature, or automatically it goes inside. And here in your textbook they use the word here, it engulfs. What is the meaning of engulf? It swallows it. Whenever it swallows, then it forms the food vacuole, and other process it will be takes place, and we'll study about very clearly in the class 10 regarding this. So the process of intaking the food or swallowing or engulfing the food is called as an endocytosis. Endo means what? Inside. Cyto means what? Cell. So it goes inside, and breaking of the food process it will be occur. So it left behind the waste products, that is nothing but the carbon dioxide. It has to be sent out, that it will be by the process of exocytosis. Children, in your textbook they given the word only endocytosis. Okay, what is this endocytosis? Unicellular organism like as an amoeba, as a cell membrane, has a porous in nature. Whenever the prey comes, food particle comes, and it engulfs it. That particular process we'll call it as endocytosis. The meaning of endocytosis: endo means inside and cyto means cell. Cytosis, we can say that it breaks it. Okay, yes, by that the amoeba gets its energy. Okay children, that's all about this point we left in the last class. It comes under the plasma membrane. Okay, the next important organelle which is present in the cell, it is a cell wall. Second important organelle is cell wall. Okay, yes, actually what is the cell wall? And maybe you studied in the class 8 the differences between the plant cell and an animal cell. Plant cell has cell wall, animal cell there is no cell wall. Okay, yes. So whereas coming to the plant cell we can say that in plant cell the cell wall is present outside the cell membrane. It is present outside. It is present outside the cell membrane. Okay, how it will be outside means, let me say here. So if this is then cell, okay, as the nucleus will be inside, this is the cell membrane. Or we can also say that this is a plasma membrane. So this is cell wall. Okay, yes. So what is this called? This is the cell wall. So now where the cell membrane is there? Cell membrane is inside. If you come into an animal cell is just like this. There is no cell wall. This itself is a cell membrane. In animal cell membrane is outside. In plant cell, the cell membrane is inside. Okay, just keep in your mind like that. So the cell wall is present outside the cell membrane. Okay, yes. So next one, the cell wall is made up of with cellulose. In plant cell, the cell wall is made up of with cellulose. It's a very tough substance or rigid substance, or we can say it is a complex substance. So the cell wall in plants is made up of with cellulose, and it is a complex substance. Okay, how the cell wall it will be means it is a rigid. It is a rigid structure, or you can also say that it's a tough structure, as it's made up of a substance cellulose. Okay, next one, the cell wall. What the cell wall will do means cell wall gives shape to the cell. It gives shape. Cell wall gives shape to the cell. Okay, otherwise you can also say that the cell wall acts like as a boundary. It acts like as a boundary wall to the cell. That means it protects all the inner parts or the inner organelles which are present inside the cell. So that is the duty of the cell wall. Okay, yes, connected to this particular cell wall, we can study, as you already studied, the processes called as osmosis and the diffusion. Through osmosis, through the semi-permeable membrane, higher to lower concentration, the particles will move. And whereas coming to the diffusion, the particles will move from high to low concentration. There is no question of the semi-permeable membrane. Okay, yes, this is connected to this here. One activity is given here. Whereas coming to this particular activity, and we can say this is a rheoleaf activity. Okay, yes. Based on this activity, we'll study the one short notes that is called as plasmolysis. What is this called, children? Plasmolysis. Let me say what is called as a plasmolysis. What is called as a plasmolysis means loss of water through the tiny pores which are present inside the leaf. That particular the phenomenon of loss of water through the osmosis is called as an plasmolysis. Okay, very simple activity. You already studied this in class 6th or 5th. Take one healthy potted plant. I hope you remember that. Take one potted plant, take one polythene cover, select one leaf. Okay, tie that polythene cover to that leaf and leave it like that the overnight. Early morning, if you get up and if you go and if you will see that particular leaf, a particular plant, we can see that the droplets of water it will be present in the polythene cover. Am I right? Yes. Okay. Now the question is that how this polythene cover has this droplets of water. What happened during the night? What happened during the night means the process of plasmolysis occur. That is nothing but evaporation of water. Whatever vapor comes out, water droplets comes out through the tiny pores called as a stomata. That is nothing but we'll call it as a transpiration. Okay, is it clear, children? Yes. So let me say about what is called as a plasmolysis. The phenomenon of loss of water through osmosis process is called as the phenomenon of loss of water. Okay, yes. How you can say loss of water occurs in this particular plant. Okay, yes. Here we have to select rheoleaf. Children, this is the rheo plant. The violet color leaves it will be. When the school reopens, just we'll do the activity with this. This is a little bit a bristle leaf. When you do like this, it breaks. Okay, take this rheoleaf. As usual, how you did the onion peel activity, the same procedure, children. The same procedure you have to follow. Let me explain once again by the theoretical way. Take a rheoleaf and just you bristle it like this, just break it like this. If you break like this, we can hear the sound also. Okay, with the help of the forceps, just peel out carefully. Okay, where you kept this peel? Immediately you have to keep it in the watch glass containing water. Why you kept in the watch glass containing water? To avoid from folding of the leaf and prevent the leaf from the drying. Okay, yes. So the next one, with the help of the brush, carefully place it on the mid of the slide. Place it on the mid of the watch slide. Okay, yes. So as usual, we have to add the color. Iodine solution followed by saffron or the methylene like that. Why you are adding these colors, please keep in your mind to see the clear dimensions of the each organelle which is present inside the cell. Okay, yes. So when observe under the microscope, in high power microscope, higher power and lower power it will be there. So under high power, if you observe the this particular slide, what you can see means, and we can notice there are the green patches. Okay, yes. What are these green patches means? These green patches are called as an chloroplast. The dot-like chloroplast structures we can see. So this chlorophyll is contained the pigment called as an chlorophyll. The green pigment is present. You will notice that is called as a chlorophyll. Okay, yes. When you observe this chlorophyll pigment, and inside this the chlorophyll, and we can see the kidney shaped, the small structures it will be present, and these are nothing but we'll call it as an stomata. Okay, through these pores what will happen? Water it will be comes out. Okay, as after observation of this chlorophyll, now what you have to do means, take a thick salt solution or take a thick sugar solution and just place over it a drop of with the help of the dropper, and place this particular solution. Okay, yes. Whenever you place either salt or the sugar solution, what will happen? You already studied in the definitions. Shrinkage of the cell it will be takes place. How the shrinkage occurs here? By losing water droplets. Did you get my point? Let me once brief out faster. We took the real leaf, we placed it under on the slide. We place it on the slide, and we observe under the microscope by adding the dyes and colors, and we can see the green pigment called chlorophyll, and then after that just add a sugar solution or salt solution. Now observe under the microscope. So now what you will see means, when you observe under the microscope, we can see droplets of water. It will be it comes out on the slide. We not kept any water or anything. We add only the iodine. So this loss of water through the stomatal pore by the process of osmosis is called as plasmolysis. Okay, children, yes. Next, continuity of this activity is given. Do the same activity by boiling it. Now take the real leaf, just keep it in the boiled water and take out the peel. Okay, this is normal one. Now just we are repeating this experiment with keeping this particular leaf in boiled water. Okay, just we keep it in the boiled water and just then peel out and just place it on the slide once again, and place it on the slide. Do the same process, add a cover slip, observe under the microscope. Now the question is that, did you see the plasmolysis occur in this particular second slide? Is the plasmolysis occur in the first slide or in the second slide? Why it is only in the first slide? If it is first slide, why it is? If it is not in the second slide, why? Okay, there is a reason here. If the plasmolysis occur, we see plasmolysis only in the first slide by observing the droplets of water. Whereas coming to the second slide and there is no droplets of water, the question is, the thing is here, all the cells are dead cells. Okay, why the cells become as a dead here? And we boil the leaf. As we boil the leaf, the cells will become dead. These are not living cells no more. Okay, in the first slide the cells are living cells. So with this we concluded plasmolysis occur only in living cells, not in the dead cells. Am I clear to you, children? Plasmolysis takes place only in the living cells, not in the dead cells. Okay, children, that's it about the plasmolysis cell wall. Under the cell wall, and we studied an activity called as an plasmolysis. Okay, that's is it clear, children? Yes. So the second organelle is the cell wall. Now let me say about the third organelle. The third organelle is nucleus. Okay, whereas coming to this nucleus, it is a very prominent organelle to the cell. Why? Because it has to be control all the activities of the cell. Okay, yes, it is an we can say it is a very prominent organelle, we can say. Organelle in the cell. Okay. Nucleus is covered. It is covered by two layered structures, two layers. Or we can say it's a double membrane structure, double membrane. Two layer double membrane. Okay. Yes. This the double membrane together we'll call it as nuclear envelope. We can say that nuclear envelope. Okay. Yes. How this nuclear envelope means, we can say like this. So this is an inner one, this is an outer one. Okay. Inner membrane, outer membrane. Here also inner and an outer membrane. Like this we can say. It is a double membrane structure. Inside the it left behind the gaps, and these gaps we'll call it as nuclear pore. Nuclear pore. Okay. Yes. Inside the nucleus there is the dark staining body. This dark staining body we'll call it as nucleolus. Okay. There is a dark staining body, we named it as nucleolus. Okay. Inside this, around this nucleolus, we can see the thread-like structures. The thread-like structures, and these thread-like structures, the thread-like structures we'll call it as chromatin. The thread-like structures is known as chromatin. So here the children, you have to learn the two terminologies: condensation, decondensation. What is the meaning of this condensation and the decondensation means? Condensation means all the particles will be put together. Obviously that particular structure, it will be looks hard. Decondensed means just they will be lightened, or they will be scattered, and automatically it will be like just like as what is that called nuclear. What is that? Not a clear structure, thread-like structure. That thread-like structure we will call it as a chromatin. When this chromatin, it will be converts like as a chromosome, means during the cell division, it will be condensed. It will be condensed and it looks like as a rod-like structure, and this rod-like structure we will call it as an chromosomes. Okay? Yes. The chromosomes are made up of, they are made up of with the DNA and proteins. They are made up of with DNA and protein. Actually, what is called as a DNA? What is called as a DNA means deoxyribose nucleic acids. Deoxyribose nucleic acid is the full form of the DNA. Okay, in the DNA there are the segments of the DNA, and we can call it as, these segments we'll call it as genes. Actually, what are these genes? Genes are responsible. Genes are responsible for giving up of the parental characters. Okay, parental characteristic features. We are getting the parental characteristic features because of this genes. Okay, yes. So, some organisms, they exhibit what is that called as dark clear nucleus. Then those organisms, we will call it as an eukaryotic organisms. Some organisms, they will not exhibit the nucleus, and there will be not an cleared nucleoid we will not see in those organisms. That particular organisms are called as an prokaryotic organisms. Okay, next class I'll explain what are called as eukaryotic organisms and what are called as an prokaryotic organisms. Children, I'll give the keywords and just watch the video properly, and I'll planning to conduct the online test. You prepare for that. That's all for today. Thank you.